Hey, so you're thinking about learning Vietnamese? That's awesome. You are in exactly the right place. Today, we are going to break down the complete roadmap, a really clear, step-by-step guide that'll take you from knowing zero to actually having confident conversations. Let's jump right in.
And you know what? It really is a smart move. I mean, whether you're trying to connect with your family, planning that once-in-a-lifetime trip, or maybe even growing your business, learning Vietnamese just opens up this incredible culture and a whole world of new opportunities. So let's make sure you get started on the right foot.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with why it's worth it. Then we'll dive into the sounds, which are super important. After that, we'll get into building sentences, how to actually activate your skills, and then, at the end, I'm going to lay out a concrete 6-month action plan for you.
First up, why is Vietnamese even worth the effort? Look, every language has its thing, right? Its own little quirks, and Vietnamese is no different. Let's look at the one big challenge and the incredibly good news that comes right along with it.
Okay, so here's the deal. This is the big trade-off you make when learning Vietnamese. The main challenge, the one thing you really got to focus on, is mastering the 6 tones. But the reward for that, the grammar is unbelievably simple. We're talking no complex verb endings, no gendered nouns. It's a fantastic balance, really.
All right, let's move on to our second section, nailing the sounds first. And I'm calling this your non-negotiable foundation because, seriously, if you get this right from the very beginning, you will save yourself so much frustration down the road.
And the great news starts right away. The Vietnamese alphabet, which is called Quoc Ngu, uses the Latin script that you already know, so you'll recognize most of it immediately. You just have to get used to a few new letters and, most importantly, those little marks you see above and below the letters. Those are the diacritics, and they tell you everything about the crucial tones.
And this brings us to a huge first step. You're going to want to jump right into learning vocabulary. I get it, but resist that urge. Your first mission, for about 1 to 2 weeks, should be to focus only on the sounds. Just listen, mimic, and get the pronunciation down. This is truly the single best investment of time you can make.
And here they are, the famous 6 tones. You've got the flat tone, a falling tone, a rising one, a tone that kind of dips and then rises, a broken rising tone, and a short, heavy, low tone. Getting the shape and the feel of each of these sounds right, well, it's everything.
And if you're wondering why this is so important, check this out. The simple syllable ma can mean ghost if you say it with a flat tone. But if you say it with a falling tone, ma, it means butt. You see? Get the tone wrong and you are saying something completely different. This is exactly why we focus on sound first.
Okay, so once you start to get a handle on the sounds, we can move on to building your very first sentences. And like I said before, this part is so much easier than you probably think. This is it. This is the golden rule of Vietnamese sentences. Subject, then verb, then object. Just like in English. It's clean, it's logical, and guess what? It doesn't change.
Let's see it in action. Take the sentence tôi ăn cơm. Tôi is the subject, it means I. Ăn is the verb, to eat, and cơm is the object, rice.
So, tôi ăn cơm translates directly, word for word, to I eat rice. Simple, right? No rearranging words, no confusing grammar to worry about. It just works.
And this is the best part. This is where you get to breathe a huge sigh of relief. You can forget about verb conjugations. The verb for eat is the same for I eat, you eat, she eats, they eat. It's always the same. There are no tricky plural forms, no gendered nouns to memorize. It's an incredibly efficient system.
So now you've got the building blocks, right? The sounds and the sentence structure. It's time for section 4, activating that knowledge. We're going to do that by listening, speaking, and repeating. This is where the language really starts to come alive.
First, you've got a key decision to make. There are 2 main accents. Northern, which is centered around Hanoi. That's considered the standard, and it's what you'll hear in the media. Then there's the Southern accent from Ho Chi Minh City, which is super common in everyday life. My advice? Just pick one and stick with it to build your consistency.
Now this brings us to a huge question, one that stops so many learners in their tracks. When is the right time to actually start speaking? You're probably going to feel like you're not ready, that you'll make a ton of mistakes. And you know what? You will, but that's the entire point.
I absolutely love this mindset. Fluency isn't about being perfect, it's a process. It's about having the courage to speak even when it's messy and awkward and just doing it over and over again until, slowly but surely, it gets better.
Don't wait until you feel ready, just start.
And that brings us to our final section, where we put it all together. This is your 6-month action plan to go from zero to holding real, actual conversations in Vietnamese.
So let's break down what this actually looks like. In month 1, your whole focus is on sounds and learning your first 300 words. By month 2, you're going to expand that vocabulary and start speaking at least once a week. In months 3 and 4, you'll be holding basic conversations. And by months 5 and 6, you can be aiming for 15-minute chats and even start thinking in the language. It's totally doable.
And you don't have to do it alone. There are amazing tools out there to help you. You can start with an app like Duolingo for a fun, game-like intro. For really burning words into your memory, a spaced repetition app like Anki is a game changer. And when you're ready to practice with real people, HelloTalk is fantastic for connecting with native speakers. On YouTube, channels like Learn Vietnamese with Annie give really clear, helpful lessons.
Now, your personal timeline really depends on your commitment. If you can put in 2 hours a day, you could be conversational in as little as 4 to 6 months. If you can do 1 hour a day, you're looking at maybe 6 to 9 months. And hey, even just 20 minutes a day will get you there. It'll just take a bit longer. The key isn't how long you study, but how consistent you are.
So, let's boil it all down to the essentials. The pro tips for success. Focus on those tones every single day. Speak early and speak often, even when it feels uncomfortable. Listen way more than you think you need to. And most importantly, practice every single day. That consistency, even if it's just for 20 minutes, is what builds fluency.
So, there you have it. The complete roadmap is laid out right in front of you. Every step is clear. The only variable left in this whole equation is you. So the real question is, how serious are you about making this happen?